I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up? Hello, guys. Welcome to the after show for Avenue 5. We are covering episode 2, and then he's gonna shoot off. Really, it should be, and then they're gonna shoot off, right? Because it's more than one person that was shooting off.
Yes.
I'm clever. So clever. We're talking macabre. That was my new vocab word today. Macabre. Hopefully I'm saying it right.
It's a good word.
So good.
Heck.
Holy heck. That's another good vocab word. Add that in your vernacular. Vernacular. That's another one. We're just doing
Throwing
it.
them out there.
We're doing it. So we're talking macabre. We're talking suck on this NASA. That's right. Ooh. I said it. And we're also talking Karen Kelly because she's my new favorite person. We also have our special segment, Being Stuck. This is way better than the segment I did last week. You guys, it's way more fun. So I am so excited that we get to do that. And of course, our news and gossip. But before we get started, to my left, I have Adiamond Baker.
Hey guys, what's up?
Adiamond, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm finally ready to do this.
And you are like knowledgeable on all things space, right?
Yow.
Yow.
That's my new word of the day.
Making a list, guys. Are you making a list?
Some space facts next time.
Good. I'm on it. I'm in it. And Tara Erickson, we meet again.
I'm here too. I don't know a lot about space, but I did love Veep. So I'm here for that.
She's
it's
a Veep
almost
expert.
like apples and oranges.
A little bit.
I'll leave it there.
You guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
pretty much. I'm super excited to talk about this episode. I feel like it's a more introduction, more character building.
Yeah,
more
we're getting into it a little bit.
Yeah, and I like that. What were your overall thoughts, Tara?
I thought the second episode dove in a little deeper to getting them on the track of like the characters, their like speech. It's like the jokes that they use are very Veep-like, but I'm like, oh, but they're assigned to different people that I'm not used to yet. That's my problem. That I can see that the writers, I feel like sometimes are still writing in the vein for people who are on Veep, and the people who are in this show are not those people. And you're like, oh, the delivery's so different. So I got stuck on that, but I enjoyed this episode a little bit more because we dove a little bit deeper into like, I don't know, like what they're doing in space and their relationships. So it made me care a little bit more this second episode. And Hugh Laurie is like always great though. He was great in the pilot, great in this episode. I feel like this is a show that's gonna get better as we go on. Which I'm excited to see. I mean, I still think like the writing is great. It's just the delivery is different for me. So it's kind of a rocky start because you're like, oh, I'm not used to this. And I think that's kind of where I'm coming to a head where I'm like, I like it, but also it's different and I'm not used to it yet. So that's where I'm at right now.
I agree with you. And I also feel like those characters, we're not used to seeing them in that type of role, like the comedy, like that Veep-esque comedy. Yeah. So it's a little, maybe even foreign for them. And I feel like it's not flowing. I don't feel the flow. I can tell that what they're trying to do with the joke. And sometimes it's funny if the cut is right, if they cut it right, or if the person's like, I think everybody's just trying to get used to this style of writing and us and the actors. So I exactly agree with you. And I think more that we see the show and that they've taped a whole season, I don't know, that we're going to get into the flow of it. But it's kind of like it's not
touch and go.
Yeah. It's not flowing for me, but there's moments where I'm laughing and I'm like, okay, that was funny. Other times I'm like, they kind of missed the mark on that. But all of them are great actors, so I hope they can gel better and, kind of settle into their comedy and, like, just not push it so hard. So, yeah.
I feel like this show is destined for greatness.
Just gonna it's in the stars. Are you saying?
It's in the stars.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Great. I mean, when you get this kind of cast together,
yes, it's only a matter of time
with the writers. I feel like people just have to give it a second.
Yeah, and I don't think they could cancel the show because of the actors in it.
Oh no, yeah,
right. Like at least give it 2 seasons.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, and I think you just you guys, you just gotta let it go for a second. Like, before.
Give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a chance. So, we're only 2 episodes in. And so sometimes it takes a minute to get used to everybody. And like you were saying, get used to the jokes being hit and all that kind of stuff. So I have hope.
Mm-hmm. I have hope too. We just got to ride the ride.
Just got to ride the ride. We're on it already, guys. You're stuck with us now. I really want to talk about Macabre. So good, which is of course the funeral for Joe and others. Okay, who
Mary and Mary.
Mary times 2 and the guy with the dog.
The golden casket.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So let's talk about that. I had no idea, first of all, when she was like, there's gonna be a problem, the casket weighs so much. No idea that's what would happen.
I thought it was gonna come back and and break through the window or crack it, and then they'd have to deal with this shattering wall, like window. And I was like, that's what I thought I was gonna do. But yeah, orbit it obviously makes more sense.
Yeah,
it does. Does it?
I don't know.
Does it make more sense?
I didn't. Yes. No.
I think it has. It's. I think it's an attest to like how they just want to get going with things. They just want to get rid of things. Like, oh, here's a mistake. Let me get rid of it. I don't even want to think about how or why. It's just let it be gone.
Yeah.
Let it be gone.
And they still kind of have the mentality of how things could work on Earth.
Right.
So there's that they're having to battle with, which is funny, or it should be, and I guess the golden casket orbiting is hilarious in that sense.
Well, because in all honesty, like Judd, he carries around this 800-pound golden casket wherever he goes.
Yeah.
And of course, he takes it on space. Like if you're injured in space and you're going to be buried in a casket in space, if you're injured in space, I think everybody's dead.
Yeah. Well,
is that super morbid of me, or is that just like? If something happens in space,
right?
Generally,
just shoot me out there. I don't need a coffin.
I don't need one.
Get me out there.
Yeah.
I'm already
let the body
dead.
float away.
Just let it float.
My body
freeze
will just
and
kind
float.
Yeah.
So.
I really wanted them to keep that casket there, floating around, and have some characters just go, well, you made your bed, now lie in it, like, because you died, because that would be funny. And at least to me, and that they would have to like check in and be like, wasn't his name Josh? It's that old Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, the old captain. They'd be like, well, let's consult Joe, and they'd have to like wait,
Yeah,
and they'd be like, Joe, what do you think? What do you think
Ceremony,
Joe
you
thinks
just see
about?
his face.
Like,
Yeah.
and you just seem like scanning around. I wanted them to keep it in orbit. But then the end, I get it. It's like a weird reminder, but also kind of hilarious.
It's an extremely weird reminder.
Yes, totally.
But then, of course, you have the 3 other people that died, and they fixed the problem by putting it in a plastic, basically, casket.
But now they're like all stuck together because of right? Weren't they just all lined up next to the gold casket?
Well, now they're like in an orbit.
Yeah, they're all in orbit because I think the casket now has an orbit, and so those are now sticking to the. I don't. Totally
I think it's
understand.
because they didn't push it out. They couldn't like
Shoot it
eject it correctly
Yeah.
because the gravity was off.
Yeah.
and so it just kind of floated out of the
and
window.
wound up with the other golden
with an arm sticking out.
Yeah,
it is really morbid. Like you're putting these 3 dead bodies in.
Yeah, like they don't have like
you
an
can
infirmary.
see it. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Even if nobody's there to see it in space, it's still, I feel like that.
And is that even allowed? Shouldn't you bring those bodies back to Earth? Like there has to be some sort of legality issues with like.
I don't think they want to carry the bodies on there for 3 years.
I know. I absolutely get it.
It might run out of gas, and then nobody would make
Yeah,
it.
nobody's brought up that at all about are we worried about food? I know he said something about oxygen, but how much food is on there wasn't supposed to last for 3 years.
I bet you that they'll start rationing at some point.
They're gonna get and at
to.
some point I was like envisioning like, okay, they have these things orbiting around the thing, and that they're there for so long that they end up worshiping it, and so there's like prayer circles, and someone has a kid somehow because somebody got pregnant at some point, and then that kid only knows to praise these like orbiting dead bodies. That would be a good.
Writers, are you listening? Because that is a good
Chiller.
That is hilarious. Now that would be funny. That would be funny.
Just a little small like storyline for someone.
Little tidbit. Yeah. Write that one in.
Or you could just go the zombie route. You have 4 dead bodies orbiting around you. You could totally turn them into zombies that are space invaders.
Yeah, a virus gets into the casket a virus gets into the casket that's open with the arm that's hanging out.
Yeah.
Then zombie. then he eats the other bodies, zombies them,
They're
and then
space
they're
guys.
trying to get into the space.
Heck yeah.
We're doing it, you guys. We're writing this
We
whole
got
script.
it. You guys can go home.
We are
got
gonna
this.
start our own. We're gonna start our own
Avenue
show.
5, zombie.
zombie version.
We're revamping the name. Well, we have so many thoughts here. Adiamond, can you tell us about more of the thoughts that we have here at AfterBuzz TV?
Oh my God, can I tell you guys?
Please do.
I can tell you about these thoughts that we have. You guys, if you are watching us on YouTube, if you're reading my thing I just posted on Twitter, you can like, subscribe, follow us, comment. You know, we like to hear your thoughts. We do this for you. We do this for our own mental health because all we do is watch TV. So thank God we found a purpose in life. And it is to tell you our thoughts about everything we're watching on TV. So thank you. Like, subscribe, share, enjoy.
We love you.
Nice. Perfect. Thank you. On that note, let's talk about Suck on This, NASA. Who needs NASA anyway, you guys?
Yeah.
Nobody. So, Cyrus, by the way, where did he come from? Who is he? I mean, he wasn't like, he's the guy that came and said, hey, it's actually, according to my calculations, 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6
Was he
years.
just like hidden in a bunker?
That's
and
what
then
I'm
like
saying.
popped in and was like,
There's-
I know stuff about space.
Yeah, he's not part of the crew.
Yeah.
Like, he's next to nobody.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's just like, I imagine he's a nerd alert that would be like, yeah, I want to go on a spaceship. I have money. And like, he just plays video games all day and like rebuilds robots and radios.
So he's like another Judd,
Totally.
but like nerdier.
yeah. Nerd alert.
Yeah. What is Leora's name?
Huh?
The other engineer lady.
Oh, Billy?
Oh, is it Billy? Okay.
The girl?
She obviously hates his guts. She thinks
I
he's an
think-
idiot.
I think it's because they were in a relationship.
Yeah, they do have that kind of.
They have this weird vibe.
I know what moment I thought that too.
Yeah.
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 Okay. They
And
had
he's an
a drunken
ex.
hookup or something.
Yeah, well, because he's also said that he's had like four long-term relationships. He
That's right, I
obviously
forgot about that.
overcounts. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I think that there's some history there for
Yeah.
sure. But I just want to know where he came from. Like, I think
Why is he now
must be
just being introduced?
Yeah, and then he's totally discredited. But anyway, he's like a genius and it has the 6 months. But was he hired by Joe? Do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe Joe is not the real captain. Maybe Cyrus is the real captain.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, we're getting
getting
deep.
deep.
We're winding around
We're
here.
analyzing this, you guys. We're analyzing this. But Rav is basically screwed.
Yeah, the lady back at NASA.
The lady back in NASA, she's basically screwed. She's trying
Well,
to
she's
figure
getting
this out.
screwed, or was.
Oh, snap. Did
they-
anybody catch that?
It was almost impossible to catch.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
So Mia, which is the couple that are fighting, Mia and Doug,
Mm-hmm.
she calls from some dude's wristwatch and says, Rav, I finally got you. And it took me, I had to watch it twice in order to get it. I didn't get it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The second time. So she was cheating on,
I knew she was having an affair,
Rav.
but I couldn't put it together.
but I don't think Doug knows.
No, because he
either.
thinks, because he said your beaver was chomping wood, busy
Yeah.
chomping wood. And I was like, oh, that's a good one.
Write her down.
I've never heard that before.
Brilliant.
That's brilliant. So now we know. So this is throwing in this kind of more of a love triangle because we see them bicker so much.
How did
Which
they even
makes-
meet? How is NASA girl? And maybe that's why she's not impressed
That's-
with that other NASA guy with the ponytail. She's like, I'm not impressed with your space knowledge or whatever. The one who keeps following Mia around.
Yeah.
I think maybe because she's with Rav or whatever, that chick who's like head of NASA or whatever. And so she's like, I'm not impressed with you, old 80s astronaut, not like
think he
back
was
in
the-
1980s or
The
whatever.
last astronaut to go to the moon or something.
I think that's why her friend sent them to go to space
Yeah.
to connect their marriage.
Wait, who was
Because
the
it's
friend?
most likely that she was. Remember, somebody set them up to
Yeah.
give them a
Who-
space.
yeah.
But they said the name.
go. Did they?
Who was the name?
Shucks,
Shoot.
girl.
If you guys know,
Yeah.
immediately. All these
not-
people are in the page. Do something.
Hit us
Look at all these people popping up.
up.
Help us out.
Let us know. Now I'm interested. Now
Someone's
we gotta
like,
figure this
I'm
out.
gonna save your marriage. You're gonna go to space and get away from her.
Horrible idea.
Yeah.
That would
From
make
Rav.
sense. Yeah.
Because Rav is strong and powerful and cool and like the head of NASA.
But
and
that
like
would make-
Doug is just like, what?
We don't
You
even
know.
know. He wears shorts.
Poor
all the time.
Doug. He's like trying to work on it, but she's a lesbian, so she doesn't want your wood.
I think
Not
that's
anymore.
what it is. She's experimenting. Maybe it was an experimental time in her life. She didn't know what she wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't say. But this is an interesting turn of events. I'm really glad that we hashed that out.
Yeah.
I do want to know, because it would totally make sense if Rab was the one that bought them tickets, especially because she could get them so easily.
Right. But
she
why?
runs the
Maybe it's because they knew putting them in in a space would and
break them
But
up.
it feels like she was already over it, Mia.
We got to figure it out, guys.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
gotta
see,
figure it out.
this conversation has made me excited for episode 3 because now I'm like, all that's going to come out, and I want to see what actually happened in real life with those two.
Yes. So I like that.
Agreed.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good.
I'm excited to figure out where that's going and where NASA is going now that they're not involved.
Yeah.
With their,
Yes.
with their phone digit quote on how much it was going to cost to help everybody. So
Yeah.
that's insane. Let's go into Karen Kelly. Karen Kelly is quite possibly my most favorite character now, besides
Type
Matt.
A, the Type A wife.
Man,
lady.
she's like that mom that knows everything. That's like head of the PTA,
Yeah.
on with the principal.
Can't
like,
keep up.
sits up at-
Can't keep up with her.
Holy mackerel, she's got it down. So she basically finds out everything. And I don't know how. She just like seems to walk in at the right times, and then she
She
disperses
just can't
the
sit still.
information.
She has to be all up in everybody's business.
Yeah, but I almost appreciate it. Like, she's for the people.
She needs to be nominated mayor of the ship.
You know what I was
that's
thinking?
what's coming.
What if this show and them being on the ship is like explaining planet Earth and what, like, or even just America, what America's going through? Just like, it's just a fucking shitstorm right now. Pardon my French, but like,
Such is life.
such is life. And I think these little like these issues are going to start coming up that is going to be similar or related to some things that we're going through, like on Earth, like in America or in the world. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be somehow tied to like,
Some parallels between.
yeah.
Lots of metaphors
You heard it
coming
here
your
first.
way.
Well, I think it's inevitable when if you're told you're gonna be stuck on a ship for 3 years, okay, and you have a ton of people. Not everybody is gonna get along, and of course, there's gonna be more than one person that is gonna rise up and try to be the leader.
Yeah.
So I feel like it only makes sense that somebody would be like, this mother effer doesn't know what the heck he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he's a hired actor and switches accents. So if he doesn't know who he is, I'm not gonna follow him. So somebody else needs to get it together. And so she joined the cause.
She's bossing up.
Which other people think so too, because they're all chanting her name.
Because they need to know as well. They're just as worried and want the information, and she's the one giving it, actually being honest and giving it to them.
I like that her husband is like worn down by the process of his wife, but also they're like the strongest couple in the show where
Yeah,
like
he's slightly
he
still
always has
intrigued.
her back. Right?
Yeah, he's still
He's like,
supportive.
oh, she wears me out, but then she's like, you didn't tell us, and he's like, yeah, you didn't tell us, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm into this dynamic duo.
He's
support.
He's the typical supportive
Yeah.
husband.
Totally,
I like him.
I like it too.
So who do you like more? Their relationship or
Mia and Doug.
yeah, me and Doug. I know me and Doug like argue all the time. But
It felt weird. I mean, to me and Doug, when I was watching this episode, I was like, why are they in this show specifically as a side plot? Or is it just like, we need more people and they're funny to kind of hear and see argue? Because they do have funny punchlines in regards to they set them up in situations where they shouldn't be arguing. Everyone hears them and it's sort of like a punchline relationship. But I'm not sure what they add specifically to them being in space on Avenue 5. Haven't figured that one out. The other couple, obviously, she's like,
Leading the.
she's doing it.
she's there
She's
to
doing
lead.
the stuff.
And I think we might find, I mean, if it's the relationship with Rav, right? I don't know.
yeah.
If it's a relationship with her, that could be why. But yeah, if nobody's caught that yet, which I wouldn't have if you didn't connect the dots for me, people might be wondering, yeah, what do they, I mean, it's entertaining, but yeah, what's going to be the thing that connects them to everything else of the story?
That's why we got to keep watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so do you.
So do you. Watch.
Watch.
With that said, let us go on to our special segment, Being Stuck. So excited for this one.
Yes.
I really am.
Okay, you guys. So we want to let's discuss
Yes.
what is a situation that you've been stuck in for 3 years that you wish only lasted for 6 months. You go first.
Okay. I like mine. I said middle school. I was in middle school for 3 years, obviously. And that, like, I swear middle school is like one of the worst points in life where you're trying to figure stuff out.
And people are so fucking mean.
People are so mean. And on top of that, I went to a private school.
Oh, wow.
So there was only 13 people in my grade.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And
So
I
we're-
knew them from like kindergarten
Wow.
up until 8th
So
grade.
you could never avoid a bully.
You can't avoid. You're in the clique forever. And if you're not in the clique, then you're out of the clique and everybody knows it. Like you can't find a new one.
But the clique is right
That was
here, and
it.
then you're just standing outside the clique the entire.
Yeah.
You're the dead casket person
I'm the dead
orbiting the
casket.
clique. Oh, I love that.
And there's only 4 boys. And so, you know, and the rest
You're
were
like,
girls.
that's
So,
my
like,
dick.
yeah, everybody was on one guy for a long time, and then it was like everybody was on. We had I like you more. You're my friend, and then I don't like him, but you secretly. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah, it's just
Middle
like
school's
big
hard.
regular middle school. Yeah.
Rough
What about you?
living over there?
She's like, I love middle school.
God, no, I hated middle school too. The second she said that, I was like, yes, want it out so badly.
It's a rite of passage.
It is. And somebody asked me the other day, they're like, if you could go, but learning what you know now. And I was like, never. I'd never go back. I don't care. Nope.
I
Hate
was just
it.
thinking that the other day. I'm like, fuck no. No.
Hated every minute
I'm
of it.
cussing a lot. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Listen, I would take back the 3 years that I spent from 18, 19, 20 years old going into $4,000 worth of debt going to the ArcLight, which I still love the ArcLight. It's my second home. I went into so much debt there. I lived there. I literally went to like 2 movies a day sometimes after class. And then eventually, like, my credit card was shut off. And I'm like, man, if I would have really just shut that down after 6 months, life could have been a little bit easier in the early 20s, you know, when you're just like, well, I guess I have to pay this debt off, or I guess claim that I'm bankrupt, which I did not do.
Good for you.
Good for
So,
you.
you know, you had to just, you know, I dug myself in a hole. Still love the ArcLight, but I mean, come on. When you're young, you're just like, I'm going to swipe a credit card because I have them.
Yeah.
Whew, that was rough. I had to really dig out of that debt.
So you got your newfound credit card and spent it on movies.
I sure did. Every day after class, I was like, I'm going to walk to the ArcLight and see a movie. And then that movie would end, and I would look and be like, what's next?
And
I
pay? You didn't just
Yeah.
walk into another one like,
No, she's on it.
Because they're separate. That's ArcLight is very smart. They never have, even since back in the day, they never have a movie that lets out upstairs. That you can go directly into another movie unless it's like an hour and a half delay. You have to go downstairs, and that's a new checker-inner. So you had to pay. Otherwise, I would have been a little sneaky.
yeah.
It's fine. I snuck in Del Taco all the time.
You snuck in Del Taco?
In there.
Like
in
when
the
they were
back
closed?
row, girl. I'm in the aisle.
Oh, snuck in
Snuck
Del
in.
Taco food. I
Snuck
thought you
in Del
snuck
Taco.
into Del Taco. I was
No,
like,
no. Tacos.
She's
Snuck
like
in.
sneaking into the Del Taco restaurant.
Sneaking in tasty tacos.
like, why? She's like, I'm here. I'm here.
Nobody can see me. Everyone's like,
I never wanted to pay $2 for a burrito, so I snuck into the kitchen every night. Yeah, that'd be great.
What we learn about our co-hosts, yeah?
Yeah,
the
baby.
secret lives of
What
ABTV.
about you?
Okay. So I was gonna say college, but you did the middle school. So I'm gonna say my high school relationship.
I feel like we're
It
all
more
on
should have
the
been like an
same
explosion sound. Do you have an explosion sound back there? That would be a good.
And a picture of a heart blowing up
Yeah.
into a million
no.
pieces.
And just some roided out dude like, "Oh," like
Yes.
angry, and that was me, just angry the entire time. There we go.
That's great.
Yeah, that's what I would say. So either that or like an STD you never found out about, and you're like, God, I wish that ended 6
Right.
months instead of 3 years.
Do you think your relationship throughout high school was like really good in the first 6 months though? Like,
No, my
like if
whole
you-
school
Oh,
years
it's
were
all
they're
bad.
the
All
worst.
bad.
Everybody.
Yeah.
But then you find out later that all the boys they just loved me, and you don't find out till later, and they're just like pushing you around and being so mean. Whatever.
That's how it is. That's how it
Look
goes.
where I am now. ABTV.
I've made it.
I've made it. Because of all your bullying. I've made it.
Yeah.
Pro bullying. Just kidding. It's not a good
They're
idea.
gonna clip that. Just that.
I know, right? They're gonna use it.
Just watch.
Oh man.
With that said, let's go into our news and gossip.
Oh,
Tara.
you guys did not know. I guarantee you that Josh Gad, he starred in the Book of Mormon. I love that musical. It's amazing. Also, he's the voice of Olaf. He's in Frozen and Frozen 2. I read this article that he was really close to giving up because he wanted to be in more films, and he had done the Book of Mormon, but there was a long time of him trying out here in LA, and he was like, probably like 6 months away from giving it all up and being like, I give up. And then he got Frozen, and he was the voice of Olaf, which you guys know, largest film, I don't know, of all time. What's that song? Come on, you guys know
Yeah,
it.
what is that?
Somebody sing that lyric. Oh, rough living. That was like every day of my life when that movie
Let
came
it
out.
go.
Oh, let it go.
Let it sound
I was trying not to
different.
sing.
Oh man! Yeah, so congrats, Josh. We're glad you're on this show. I think he's very funny. He's a talented comedian. I like his wig. I think that wig choice was his from what I was reading because he likes sci-fi and he's obsessed with Star Trek. And so he's really excited to be on this show because it's sci-fi and in space. But he thought like, oh, if I wear this wig, it'll give it like a weird vibe, which I'm like, yeah, you're totally weird and
Nailed
funny
it.
and cool. Love it. Love you. Happy you're on.
Let you.
Keep doing your do, Josh Gad.
Your hairdo.
Yeah, Josh.
Loving it.
Perfect.
So
Well, do I want to say what
Yeah,
this person
do
said?
it.
Okay, so
Do
we
it.
have one of the hundreds of people. We're going to point out this one comment on YouTube by King Sabretooth. Love it. He or she says, or they, says, Avenue 5 is the SNL version of Lost. What do you guys think?
Oh.
I can see that. I could see that.
Okay. I'm liking it. It's just like
Oh, yeah, for sure.
instead of a jungle,
Yeah, I
it's
like
space.
They're lost.
Well, and Lost, when you
In
watched it, you were
space.
like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, could they have made
feel like
episode
that's
1
it.
at least 45 minutes just to give a little more detail to like
No,
stories?
they wanna hook you in so you keep watching.
No, I know. I mean, just to give me a little more like security and like some feelings of security.
I could.
I
see
like
that.
Yeah,
it.
what are we?
Lost
type
was
of-
more dramatic,
Yeah.
you know, but
So
I
this is
get
the-
why you said SNL
This
version.
I agree. I can agree to that.
Me
Should
too.
I say agree?
Oh,
we
yeah,
it's
it's-
I mean, if he's
Sabretooth is
watching, he's
listening,
saying,
and
we agree.
we agree.
Good. All right, ending that. Let's start off with our start. Good. Let's go into our predictions.
Oh, I didn't think about this.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
Are you gonna go?
Yep, you're gonna go.
Me go.
A diamond. Yep.
Me I go. Okay, so my predictions are I don't want to steal this bit because you made me think of it.
It's okay. Go for it.
We're gonna find out that Mia is in a relationship with Rav, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Good.
I think Mia is gonna get pregnant with Doug's baby, and they're gonna be like, "What?"
Maybe that's the baby that's born that has to praise to the
Yes.
orbiting.
And
I can't wait to see your version. That's the one I want to see.
Yes.
I need to get
Oh my
writing.
gosh, yeah.
And they need to hire me.
And then maybe Hugh Laurie gets really good at captaining, and other people in that area where he's like faking it, right? Like those other people, there's a crisis, and they're not there to run the ship. And then it's like him with all those nerd alerts. And what's her name? The leader? Kelly.
Kelly?
Kelly,
yeah.
Sorry, guys, I'm terrible.
Karen Kelly.
Yeah.
Karen Kelly is gonna swoop in and be like, "It's fine. I flew planes for 19 years or something," and it's gonna be like her and Hugh and her husband who have to like save the day. I think those three. That would be a really fun episode to watch with NASA lady back there being like, "You guys make a good team," and they're like, "Yeah, we don't need those other people.
And then they're suited up in slow motion. Like,
Yeah. And doing
What
stuff.
if Rav comes, they like ship her out and she comes to the ship.
Oh my God, drama. And
That
now
would be interesting.
she's there with her lover.
I wonder, that would be that might be too opera, like a
Okay.
soap opera.
Yeah.
I think
A telenovela.
Yeah.
I love telenovelas.
Or Power or something like that. I think that the whole 6-month thing is not accurate, and I think Cyrus is a stowaway. I think that's what he is. I don't think he's really supposed to be on the ship, but they're stowing him away because they have that relationship, Billy and
She's just been
Cyrus.
keeping him trapped
Yep.
somewhere.
Yeah,
He got
that's
out.
what
She's
I
like,
think.
"Ugh."
And I think Karen Kelly is the new dictator on the ship. I think she's gonna rise up and take over. But then everybody's gonna be like, she's kind of scary.
Yeah, then she turns into scary.
We don't want her to be the dictator, but I think she's gonna hold her place.
And what about with that? Because you made me think of this just now.
Yeah.
You're so good at making me think.
That's why I'm here.
My brains work better.
Baby, stick with me.
you. What's Billy?
Yes.
She had a moment in that, and when they were all talking, and she was like, "You're an idiot, and you're an idiot, and you shut up." So I think she might also be a one to rise up. So we have some women up in the leadership roles.
I could see that because she's basically the only one that knows how to
Yeah,
do anything with the ship.
yeah,
So
she has to.
we'll see, you guys. Can't wait to see these predictions come
this is-
true. I'm
panel's
so excited for this. I'm glad you like this panel.
I do love this panel.
Woo! We're just having fun up in here. Before we go, can you please tell us where we can stalk you?
What? My name is the Diamond Baker, and you can find me at Not Your Type, NOT_YUR_TYPE.
Guys, you can find me at Tara Erickson. That's TARAERICK on Instagram, also on Twitter. Check out my YouTube channel, please, under the same name, and IMDb me. Okay, cool.
And of course, I am Tatiana Mariesa at Tatiana Mariesa on all social media platforms. So if you're looking for me, there I am. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you next week talking all things Avenue 5.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.